Hi.
Hi. Good evening, Khoi.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good too. Okay. You were able to transfer to a new flat, right?
Yeah.
Why? What's the reason?
Because I have just learned at a new school.
Oh, okay. So that's why you are going to transfer to a nearest flat near the school. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, that's right. So you started school now, face to face? Is it a face to face now?
Yes, at 5 September, I will renew at the school.
Okay, so that is why. Okay, so good luck. Good luck on your new school, and I know you can do that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to share the presentation, and I hope you're ready. You're
Yep.
ready to present to me your interpretation all about
What?
our lesson last time.
The patient?
Yeah. Okay, I told you to do your own interpretation of this, right?
Oh,
But if you weren't able to do that, it's okay, no problem, okay? But anyway, um this is this is now a very good example, okay? A very good example on how we are going to use the correct form of the adjective in comparing or contrasting about the interpretation of the table. Okay, Koi?
okay.
So no need to do this because this one is a very good interpretation already. Okay, of the table last time like this one. Okay, so I want you to remember that we can use the word greatest, shortest, longest, the least, the fastest, the slowest, the quickest, the best. Okay, in order for us to compare and contrast different informations out from the table, the given informations from the table. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now let's go back in here. Match the paragraphs from 1 to 5 in here with their purpose from letter A up to letter E. So number 1, paragraph 1 has been given to us because the paragraph 1 says what the table shows, right? Okay, let's go back in here. Look at this one. So the table gives information about different means of transport which people use to reach their work in one city in the US. So it was mentioned in there in the first paragraph about what the table shows. So most of the time, but of course, most of the time, all the time, you should have to start by telling this table is all about like this and like that. Okay. Or the table shows that. Okay, Koi? Okay. And then what about paragraph number 2? What do you think?
Number two. Can you show me again the table?
Sure.
What is paragraph two? On orange?
Okay. Actually, it was not here in this particular writing, okay, or outcome or output, it was not here um, arranged based on paragraph, okay? But we can maybe use the period to end the first paragraph. And then the second paragraph is all about like this up to the miles. Okay? And then after that one, the third paragraph may be up to here. And then after that, the fifth paragraph.
Good. So
Okay? Okay, so what do you think would be the paragraph 2 all about?
Uh, to be compare speed.
Okay, are we going to compare the speed?
No, no, no. I think it's compare distance,
Okay,
right?
so it's the
Compare distance.
distances. Okay, so we compare first the distances by using the word greatest. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then what would be the third paragraph all about?
Again, show me the table.
Sure.
Part 3 by comparison. Oh, just short sentence.
Okay.
Okay. So, paragraph
So
3,
what do you think?
um, I think it give an overview of the information.
Gives an overview of the information.
Mm.
Okay. Maybe because this one is the third, right? This one. So we can say, is this, are we telling here about
Compare.
overview of the information?
Another thing is, I think paragraph C, right?
Hmm. What do you mean?
I mean paragraph 3C.
Paragraph 3 is B because we compare the speed.
Oh, wow.
Okay? We compare the speed, right? Okay. And then what about paragraph 4?
Compare time taken.
Okay, compares the time taken. Okay? This one. Okay, we can see in here the time. And then paragraph 5 would be the last one,
The last one
gives
give an overview of
overview of,
function.
yeah, okay, because of the word overall. Okay, we can say it's the overview. Okay, overview of the information. Okay? Now again, in writing a report or interpretation of the table or graphs, it should always you should always remember that it is in a form of paragraphs. Okay? Wherein you can find their keywords because the phrases in here are all keywords that you should have to understand. Okay, Koi?
Okay.
Okay, now let's move on to another writing task activity. So look at this writing task and answer the questions below. So let's try to examine first. So, what are the things that we need to understand? So, the
One,
table and the bar chart. So, this one is
the table,
table, and this one is
the board
a
chart.
bar chart. Yes. So, the table and the bar chart give information about traveling to work in Houston, Texas. Okay? So summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, again, comparisons. So we can compare. So when we say compare, we listed the features that is the same. But when we are contrasting, that means it's the opposite. Okay?
Okay.
So, can we do that?
Sure.
Yes. So summarize the information. Now let's try to do first the table because you cannot do the two charts in here and at the same time. So of course you have to do first what is the first one, and after that would be the second one.
Okay.
Okay?
So I'm going to draw an essay.
Okay, would you like to write it so that I can check that also? So
Can
that we
we
can
Can we consider it as a homework later?
Okay, okay. So, but okay, maybe what we're going to do is I just wanted to ask you would be your point of view regarding this one, Koi.
Yes.
Okay, so how are you going to make an essay regarding this writing task?
We should below with the overview of the writing, such as this table gives some information about something etc. And in conclusion, we give an overview again and give affirmation of this writing essay. Okay.
Okay, and then tell me about the features, okay, about the relevant information all about this table.
About call one person, we tell about the percentage of traveler perform the transport and the average of the traveler. We do it in order of four main features, and then we give an overview. Okay.
Okay, okay. What do you think would be the interpretation that you can give based on the information given? So how are you going to compare, how you are going to contrast maybe based on this information in here? Okay, it's very important to take note of the relevant information, Koi. Okay, the informations here and the information also here are all very important. Okay, because out from the information that we can see in here, we can get um, the features that we wanted to compare. Like for example, percentage of travelers per form of transport. So it gives us here all the data that shows in here gives the percentage of travelers per form of transport. And on the right side would be the average age of traveler. And as we can see in here, we can also consider, or we can say that they're using a car, okay, which is just only one person using a car, and then car or more persons using more than one car, okay, or a car that shares maybe passenger because more than one person, and then those who are using cycle or cycling, biking maybe, or walking, and then those who are riding a public transportation, which is train and buses. Okay? So out from there, you can be able to interpret. So how many percent, okay, do this car, okay, which is just only one person, the passenger is just one person only, okay, how many percentage of that uses a car which is just only one passenger? So it's 48%. Okay, and the average age of traveler for using a car for only one person is 43%. 43. Okay? So maybe there are 43 people who uses only a car for themselves. Okay? Without any other passengers. Okay? And then so on and so forth. Okay, Koi. So you can say a lot of things in this particular table. So everything will be noted, Koi. Okay,
Yeah.
and again, this would be in order. So do not mention first this one. It depends. It depends. If what do you think would be if you are going to compare now? It depends. It depends on the question. Let's say, for example, what do you think is the most number of percentage per form of transport? Okay, so that's the time that you can be able to tell what is that percentage? Okay? Okay, but if you are interpreting this one based on without any guide questions, you should have to interpret this one in order. So you have to follow this one, follow that, okay? And then you can maybe explain at the end of your essay that based on the given information of the table, we can say that there are 48% of travelers, okay, use a car for themselves, okay, without any other passengers, okay, or maybe it's just a private car, okay, and then and following after that would be public transportation, okay, like the trains and buses, that is 37%, okay.
Okay.
Okay, now if you try to compare the average of traveler, we can say that most of most number, okay, of the age of traveler is those who are riding a public transportation, which is the train and the buses, and that is 47%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Or you can also mention about the lowest number of percentage. But it turns out to be
For 38, no, 9.
39%. The average age of traveler is 39%. Okay? So it's going to be high also. Okay, that means there are also 39 people maybe just riding a bike or just walking. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. What about if we are talking about a bar chart? So how are we going to explain this? Again, remember, there would be title in here. So what's the title of that? Koi, what's the title of this?
Um, carbon, carbonic,
Dioxide. Okay,
CO2,
carbon dioxide, right?
carbon dioxide emission
Emissions.
from different form of transport.
Yes. Okay. So we are going to interpret the
I
carbon dioxide emissions from different forms of transport. Okay. As we can see in here, cycle or walking doesn't emit, okay, carbon dioxide. Yes, because it's not you're not using a fuel, okay, so therefore it's zero. And then
oh
right after that, bus and train, oh, bus and train is just only very little amount, right?
very in
Okay, yeah, and then
of
car.
people.
Yes, a car, those who are sharing, it emits carbon dioxide. But you should have to take note of this. In calculating, you have to remember this one. Again, remember the bar graph, we have the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, you need to compare the x-axis from the y-axis. In the x-axis, we can say that means of transportation, okay, forms of transport. And on the y-axis, we can say that the number or the kilogram per person per
Kilometer.
kilometer. Okay? So the the most number of carbon dioxide emissions are those who are driving a car, which is just only one. The driver is just only one. Now, what do you think is the reason behind that, Koi? What do you think? Why is it they can emit?
We can use public transport, bus or train,
Yeah.
so we can limit the limit the the what we call the quantities of carbon dioxide.
Yes, but why is it? It's just only maybe we can say these are private vehicle, right? Private cars. By why is it they're emitting carbon dioxide?
Hmm.
Uh, a lot, which
Yes.
is 0.0345. We can say maybe this one is 35, right?
Yes.
So what's your estimation in here?
think
Point
uh,
10? No, no, point.
I think 325.
Okay.
You think so?
So that would be your estimation.
Yes, estimation. My estimation.
Okay. So that is just only an estimation because we cannot what is one? There is no actual number in here. Okay? So it's okay to estimate because we don't have an actual number in here. Okay? But of course, you have to know what's the reason why is it those who are driving only, okay, with only one passenger can emit a lot of carbon dioxide. Why? What do you think is the reason behind?
Mhm.
Do you have any idea about that? Because you can what did you say? You can also explain that why it happens.
Why don't we add directly to the driver? We
Come
can
again?
yes, we can add directly to the driver. And
Yes, okay. But of course, if it will come out on the test and you don't have any what is one data about this one, you cannot answer that, right?
sure.
Okay, so therefore, maybe you should have to ask drivers about that. Okay, why it happens like this? Okay. Okay, so of course, in interpreting this one, you can start discussing about the transport that they use and then the number of carbon dioxide they
Hey, oh,
emit. Okay,
we can you
so
give off.
that's the reason. Okay, Koi?
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the next. In here, look at this one. Answer the following questions. What does the table show? So this is how you are going to start interpreting this particular chart. Okay, how does the table show? So the table show about the carbon dioxide emission from different forms of transport. Okay, and then which is the most common means of transport? Which
Car,
is the most common means of transport?
I think is car,
The
right?
car, which is driver only.
Mm, the most common, the most common trend of the most common transportation is, I think, in my opinion, it would be car.
This
Or
one, the car,
yes,
which is just only driver only. Okay.
yes.
Now, because this one is a question, you need to support your answer. So, what is the most common means of transport? Of course, if your answer would be car that has driver only as a passenger, then support your answer.
Mm.
Why?
We don't have any evidence to prove it, right?
We have. Okay. So what do you think would be the reason? Why is it the means of transport or the most common? Okay, actually, there are also a lot of people having cars, right?
Yes.
Right, Koi? So, of course, what are they going to do with their cars? That's why actually I'm talking about here in the Philippines. because this one is based on our experiences in here, that I could say that one of the problem that would create heavy traffic is private vehicles. That means a lot of people own cars.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of people own cars because if we are talking about the buses and trains, they have their own schedule, right? They have just only their own schedule, but cars don't have anytime, whether they wanted to go out anytime, they can go out without any restrictions for as long as they have license to drive, right? But buses and trains, they have schedules to be followed. Okay, so therefore we can say that the car, which is the driver only, is the most common means of transport.
Or
Okay, but in reality, what do you think is the most common means of transport?
motorbike, right?
Huh?
I
It's
think
bus and train, right? Because buses and trains are public transportation. And those who doesn't have a car, of course, can ride a bus and train because these are the most common one. But based on this, in this survey or this chart, it shows that that is not the bus, but it's the train. But if we try to look at if you try to think of the point, actually the most common is the bus and train. Okay? But of course, it's just only based because this one is based on the study that they conducted. So we cannot do something about this one. Okay? So we will not going to what it is on. We will not going to say not this one is wrong. No, because this was studied. Okay,
yes.
it was answered. Okay, they conducted a survey all about this one, so we cannot do something about that. Okay, now which is the least common, do you think?
Cycle or work.
Okay, because it's zero. Okay, zero carbon dioxide emissions. Okay, next, number 4. Which group of travelers has the highest average age?
Hmm. Bus or train, I think. Can you show me again those things?
Yeah, actually, we're not talking about this one, right? We're
Yes.
talking about this. Okay,
Yes, trains and birds.
so the most is train and buses. Which group of travelers had the highest average age? So it's the bus and
Train.
train because buses can also accommodate children, right?
Yes.
Buses can also accommodate old. So there would be no age restriction as well as the train. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, next. Question number 5. Would you kindly read question number 5, Goy?
Which group of traveler had the lowest average age?
Yes. So which group of travelers has the lowest?
Hmm. Cycle work.
Yeah. If you try to look at the two um what is one two graph, okay, at the chart and bar chart in here, the table and the bar chart, we can also say that cycle and walked. Okay? Because this here is 0% or zero carbon dioxide emissions and lowest, the least. Okay, next.
What the
Number 6, what does the chart show?
oh is the title.
It's here.
Title.
Oh,
Cut.
we're talking now. No, we're wrong. Okay,
Ah,
the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're talking about the
the tech.
table. Okay.
Get it.
Oh, why is it? why is it the picture is this, right? Supposed to be, it should be the table, and supposed to be it separated 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we're wrong because it's here table. Okay, so it's not said in here the bar, but it's the table. So that means we have to use the table in here. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to the bar graph. What does the chart show now?
Carbon dioxide
Yes, carbon dioxide
product
emissions
that
from
differ
different forms of transport. Okay, question number 7.
with form of transport called little or no pollution.
Yes, obviously. Okay,
Obvious.
so cycle or walked. Okay, so of course you can, if you are going to do the writing, you have to do it in complete sentence. So the most, or the form of transport that cause little or no pollution is cycle or walk. Number 8, question number 8, Koi.
With form of transport called more pollution.
Yeah, so which form of transport causes the most pollution?
Hmm.
It's the,
Driver only.
yes, so the car or driver only, okay? Why? Because, oh, think, Koy, think of a way on how you can answer that. Okay? Oh, let's say, for example, you are in an actual exam. So how are you going to support that? So you need to think, okay? Why is it a car that emit the most number of pollutions?
Because of its convenience and privacy.
Yeah, actually, because of that, because they can travel, okay, longer, right? So they can travel from one place to the other place, okay, go back again and travel again almost every day. Okay? That's why. And imagine if all of the cars in the world are going to go out every day. So, what do you think would happen?
So it
So, they will going to emit carbon dioxide out from the smoke that they are bringing. Okay?
again.
Okay. And aside from that, of course, we can say also that um, as some of the cars are using special diesel, right? They're also using special diesel that can emit harmful smoke or carbon dioxide. Okay. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay, next, let's continue. So, read
Oh,
the sentence giving an overview of the information and choose the correct option in the italics. Okay, would you kindly read that, Koi? Overall,
car, which is the driver, are the most common means of transport to work and cause more pollution than all the other means of transport
okay, so
combined.
what do you think would be the correct one? Overall, cars with just driver are the most or least?
Most common.
Yes. Yeah, it's there. It was stated there. So it's the most. Okay, I have to mark that. The most common means of transport to work and can
Or
cost more or less.
just than all the other means.
So, what would be the correct one? More or less?
More.
More, okay. Since we're using most, of course, more pollution than all other means of transport combined.
Ah,
So, that is to end your explanation. Okay, that means because of the word overall, that means you are giving your own conclusion. So you are on the last part. Okay, so the first part maybe is you are going to tell something about the chart. It shows about what, and then you are going to talk about all of these things. Okay, and then right after that, you have to end through a conclusion overall. Okay, or if you're not going to use overall, you can use other, like, can you give me an example?
In,
How are we going to replace overall?
in conclusion or to conclude.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yes. Uh, uh, in conclusion to the above information, okay, so cars with just blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you can
okay.
use also that one. Aside from in conclusion to the above information, what else?
To conclude.
To
Conclude.
conclude. Yes, to conclude. What else?
Overview.
Okay. Yes, you can also say the overview. Okay. So
And
what else?
India. Right.
Okay. At the end, okay, in the end, we can say that. Okay. Or,
Finally.
okay, for the final, okay, for
Oh,
the final information maybe, okay, but final information is rarely used. Okay, the one that is mostly used is overall, um to conclude. So those are the most common. Okay, Koi?
okay.
Okay, do you have questions with that?
No question.
No question. Okay, write your answer to the writing task when you write. Okay, what are the things that we should have to remember, Koi? Okay. I want you to give me your own explanation about this one. Use your answer to the questions above.
Hmm. Use this paragraph to structure your answer.
Okay. So what are the things or the paragraphs that you need to structure your answer? Look at this one, huh? Remember,
An introduction saying what table and chart show.
yes, okay. You mentioned that one while ago, right? So the first thing that you should have to remember as your introduction, okay, as part of your introduction is to say what the table or the chart all about. Okay? And then after that, you are going to mention the
The percentage of people use
percentage, again, percentage.
and percentage of people using each type of transport.
Yes. Okay, so after naming or after saying or mentioning the table and chart that shows all about, okay, you have to compare now using, if it has percentage, so you are going to tell the percentage of the people using its type of transport. But it depends. But in the previous activity that we have, we're talking about the percentage of people using its type of transport. Okay? And then
Okay.
after that, okay, actually, the percentage, the average, the carbon dioxide emissions are part of the body,
Mm.
right? Again, in writing an essay, we have three things to remember. What are those again? Introduction, and then we have the body, and then we have the
The conclusion,
conclusion. Okay? And then after that, an overview.
if you wish.
If you wish, you can use the overview from above. Okay? Or you can also use the overview above, but do not copy them all. Maybe you can get some of the information or the keywords and then expound a little bit using maybe other words.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Or again, you can also, for the overview, you can discuss a little bit maybe of your own idea to conclude, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then after that,
Use language from the sample answer in exercise 3, which you think is useful.
Yes. So use language from the sample answer in exercise 3, which you think is useful. So where is it?
Exercise 3.
Okay. Oh, anyway, the exercise 3. Never mind that. But that is just only an example. Okay. Or maybe you can use the previous idea, okay, that you use in order for you to end your explanation. And make sure,
You compare information in the table and chart.
yes, it's very important to compare the table and the chart. Now, what if you are going to compare the two? Is it
Com-
possible?
we can. How can we compare the two separate table and chart with the same link sentence?
Yes. So how are we going to do that? Is it possible or not?
And anything possible.
Okay. Yeah, because you can be able to give different ideas, okay? And you will going to mislead you're going to mislead the reader if you are going to compare them in just one interpretation, okay? So because you cannot do that one. Maybe you can, but you can interpret first this one, and then after that you can interpret this one. So it's also what is one? It's also different, but in just one. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. But that's impossible for you to do that. So it's just only one at a time. Okay, Koi?
Okay.
Okay, now for the exam advice, it says in here, it's very important. What's
Think
that?
about it. Think about and analyze the information in the charts and table before you write.
Yes. Okay. That's what I'm keep on reminding you most of the time that we should have to analyze first the information in the chart, okay? In the table. Look at the title in the chart, look at the the x-axis, and look at the y-axis because the x is different information from the y-axis. Okay,
Oh,
and if we are using a table, it's very important to look at the keywords on the left side, and there's also above maybe. Okay, and then after that, following after that would be the data. So it's very important to take note that.
yes.
Okay, Koi? Okay, next.
Organize the information into paragraph and include a general overview.
Yes. Okay, so that's why you have to organize the information to make a paragraph. And again, in making a paragraph, it should have the introduction first. Then after that, the
In body.
comparison, okay, the comparison or the reading or the interpretation should be put in the body part.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. And then after that,
Make sure that you compare information in charts and tables.
yes, so make sure that you compare information in the chart or in the table. Okay, Koi? So that is how you are going to understand in writing tasks.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have questions with this?
No question.
No more question. Okay, this one is making comparisons. Actually, these are just only very simple, okay, because we are just using the degree of comparison of adjective, right? Okay, so this one is an adjective, and then we compare that one. So that is, we use comparative degree and then superlative degree. So fast becomes
Faster.
faster. Yeah, we just add er. And then for the superlative, we just add
The fast.
est, right? Okay,
Yes.
but not all can be added the ER or the EST. Okay, remember that also. What about high?
higher, higher,
Very good. So high, higher, highest. What about expensive?
more expensive,
Yes. Okay. That's why I'm telling you not all adjective can be done the comparative and the superlative degree. Okay, expensive because we don't have words such as expensiver and expensivists. We don't have that. So instead, we just have to add more and then copy the adjective. More expensive and for the superlative, it's
most
most. So
expensive,
most expensive. Okay, next. What about this?
healthier,
Okay, what happened? Are we just going to add ER?
yes, S E R E,
No, we have to drop the Y, change that into I, and
and
add ER. Okay? So just like if we are doing the verb, right? In order to form the past tense of that. Okay? So in adjective, we can also do that one. So healthier, that would be we have to omit or drop the Y, change that into I, and then add ER. So healthier and
healthy,
healthiest. Okay. What about this?
uh, steadier.
We don't have word that as such as steadilier, okay?
I think more steadily,
More steadily and
most steady.
most steadily, okay? Because we don't have a word such as steadilier and steadiliest.
It's quite
Okay?
long.
So you just have to remember that one, Koi. Okay? Now,
Heading.
again, if we are just comparing only two things, use the comparative degree. Okay? And then if you are comparing them all to the others, use the superlative degree. Okay, Koi?
Okay.
Okay. Next, let's try this one. Complete the sentences
I
by
put it.
putting the adjective or adverb in brackets into the correct form. Number one has been given. So we don't have words such as economicaler or economicalists. Okay? So instead, we have to put only more. Why is it more economical?
Because economical is long adjective.
Okay, and take note what we compare.
Compared with driving a car.
Yes, a motorcycle and a car. So that means we are that just comparing only two, right? So
Yes.
we're not comparing to others or to all. Okay, that's why instead of saying riding a motorcycle is most economical than driving a car. So it's most, that's wrong because we are just comparing only two things in here. Okay, so it's just only more economical. Okay, next.
It's easier to work than to carve a bird.
Okay, again, easier. We do not say it's easiest to walk than to catch a bus because we are just only comparing, okay, walking than catching a bus. Okay, next. Number three, trains have
Lower carbon dioxide emission than buses.
lower.
Yes.
Why lower?
Because it's a comparison to the house, but to the buses.
Okay, trains have lower carbon dioxide emissions than buses. Okay, next. Number four.
Riding a bicycle is the healthiest means of transport because you can get some exercise.
Okay, riding a bicycle is the
It is
healthier or healthiest?
healthy because it's relative.
Again, healthy,
healthy.
healthiest
Yes.
means of transport because you get some
Exercise.
exercise. Okay. Next,
Next,
bicycles.
bicycle are probably also the dangerous means of transport. Oh,
Mm.
really?
So bicycles, yes, bicycles are probably the also the more or the most dangerous means of
Transport.
transport. Why is it the most? Oh, it's a new information for us. But I know also that one that bicycle is the most. Why? Because what do you think?
Because it's related.
Actually, you are just riding only two wheels, right? Bicycles has only two wheels. And then if you don't know how to balance, you will automatically fall, right?
Okay.
And look at this one. A lot of cyclists um, had injured, okay, had got an injury by using a bicycle. Okay, there was once here in the Philippines that a lot of groups of bicycles because we have here. I don't know in Vietnam. Do you have also such group that all of you are members of that group are all cyclists? Okay, and then when they travel to a mountains, they ride only a bicycle. Okay,
Okay.
and what happened to them was, or yeah, they fall. Okay, on the mountains.
Oh,
Yeah, and a lot of them got injured. Okay, and luckily don't have what is one a very fatal injury that they got. Okay, so bicycles are probably also the most dangerous means of transport. Next, number six.
you can get to work more quickly by driving transport than by public
Yes,
transport.
so you can get to work more quickly by private transport by than the public transport. So what do you think is this? You can get to work more quickly by private transport, right? Because there would be no stopping anytime, right? So you can quickly go to your work. Okay, rather than riding a public transport. Okay, very good. Okay. What about this? Write sentences of your own about different means of transport using the correct form of these words. Okay, cheap, quickly, comfortable, slow, enjoyable. Okay, give me a sentence using the word cheap.
Cheap.
Yes.
Buying motorbike is more. No, buying motorbike is cheaper than buying cars.
Yeah, okay. That's correct. Okay? So do not say buying a motorbike is cheap than buying a car. So it should be cheaper. Okay, next. Quickly.
Um, the speed of light is more quickly than the speed of the sound.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, speed of light is more quickly rather than the speed of sound. That's science, okay? Next. A
Okay.
comfortable.
Comfortable now?
Uh-huh.
I mean, the comfortable now.
Comfortable. No, comfortable. It could
But
be a noun. It could also be an adjective, right?
I okay. I never search as comfortable is a noun. I never experienced.
Okay. You can use that as an adjective.
Yes.
Okay.
Staying, no, living and our own house is more comfortable
Comfortable.
living at the flat.
Land. Yes. Have you experienced that?
Yes.
Actually, I experienced that when I was studying in college. Okay, I was separated by my parents, and I was forced to stay in a boarding house. Okay, we call that one here in the Philippines boarding house. Okay, because we board. So I rarely going home at once a month. It's just
Oh,
only once a month to get my allowance. So how terrible is that? So you are, but of course, in if you are there in school, you will not going to feel homesickness because you have a lot of friends, right? But if you are already there in your boarding house or in your flat, you you will become sad, right? And I feel that, okay? Okay, next. What about slow?
slow. The speed of the rabbit is now the speed of tortoises is more uh is slower
Slower. Okay,
than
slower. Okay, we do not say more slower, huh? It's
rabbit.
slower than.
The speed of the of rabbit.
Okay. Next. The last one is enjoyable.
Um the a small fee or petting is more enjoyable than the small fee and being
Okay.
in our house.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay? Okay, now let's try to complete these sentences by putting the irregular adjectives and adverbs in brackets into the correct form. Okay, number one, I need to buy a.
A better car than the one I have now.
Okay, better. Okay, or best. What do you think?
Better.
Okay, I need to buy a better car than the one I have. So why is it we cannot use bests?
It's comparison with another.
Okay. Yes. Okay, a car and the car that you have now. Okay. So it's we have to say better, not best. Next, generally people.
Who take the train to work live further always than people who cycle.
Mm, so what do you think would be the correct answer?
Further.
Further. Okay. How to spell further?
Um, Further.
Okay, not a.
Ace. I mean
Okay.
ace.
Okay. So what do you think? Is it further or farther?
It can both. It's
Why?
right. It's alright.
Okay, why?
Because um off the top of my head, the UK the UK speaker use further
Okay.
and the US speaker use farther.
Okay, actually, farther is distance, meaning from one place to the other. Okay, it's far. Okay, far. But when I say further, that means you stay, or you speak further. Okay, that's further. So it should be FA. Okay,
Okay.
okay, next, number three.
Traffic problem in the city are getting worse.
Getting worse. Very good. Okay, because bad is not the opposite of that, or the irregular adjective of that would be worse. Number four,
There are there are much. No. There are some.
there are a lot.
No. Many. Yes, there are lots of cars.
Yes, there are a lot of cars on the road now than in the past. And what about number five?
It takes a lead time to cycle to work.
Okay, it takes
A lead time. Lead.
it takes a least time to cycle to work. Okay? So that is how. Now I want you to remember the idea of comparing, and yeah, comparing. Koi, huh? So you can use adjectives, degrees of adjectives in making your.
Mm.
interpretation of the charts and graphs. Okay?
Okay.
So I should have to end up this lesson. Okay? And we are going to continue our lesson. Actually this coming Saturday it's a holiday. So we will not going to meet, huh?
What?
We will
Wait.
not going to meet because it's a holiday in Vietnam, okay?
Mm.
Okay, so we will going to resume classes on the next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that's the.
Okay, okay. So I want you to enjoy your studies, okay, and keep up the good work and break their leg.
Yes, break the leg.
Okay, okay. So bye for now, Koi. We'll see
Oh,
you next week. Okay.
yes, wait. Do you play any instruments?
No, I don't know. I don't know how to play instruments.
Um,
Okay.
okay. Do you come up with an idea of playing an instrument, such as playing piano or guitar?
Actually, we had piano, but I don't know how to play a piano. I don't know. I don't know how to play guitar also.
Or you can learn playing.
No, I don't like playing because it's not my forte. Okay.
Okay, okay.
But I know how to sing.
Oh, sing. Can
Yeah,
you
I know how to sing.
wait? If you have time, can you sing a song to me?
Yeah, sure. If I have time, okay? Some other time, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So bye for now, Koy. Okay, we'll see you again next week. Okay, bye-bye.
Yes. Bye bye. Have a good night.